What's going on, guys? Nick here with another update on the solo Batman movie. So recently we learned that Ben Affleck did step down as the director for the film, and that Warner Brothers was actively looking for a replacement from a bunch of different directors. Like, they actually reported on a short list, I believe from Variety or THR, had talked about, who's coming to take over for the spots, and a lot of people were running with the story that Matt Reeves was the top choice that the studio was looking at the moment. And of course, Matt Reeves directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the upcoming War of the Planet of the Apes, and Cloverfield, so I definitely think he'd be an interesting choice and probably one of the better ones to take over for Ben Affleck. But the topic of this video is going to be talking about how Mark Hughes over at Forbes.com, who I recently reported on an article that he wrote when Ben Affleck first stepped away, saying that Ben Affleck could potentially leave the DCU entirely. As you guys know, Forbes is a very legitimate source. They're highly respected among the journalistic field, and Mark Hughes is a very big supporter of the DCEU. So when he's talking about it, it's legit. So in this new article that he published talking about the original script for the Batman and what's going to happen moving forward, he talked a lot about that when the new director comes on board for the Batman, they're going to do a completely new version of the film. Like, they're going to completely rewrite the script that had already been turned in, and they're going to do a fresh version of the film. So what Mark Hughes says was in the original script that Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck had originally wrote back in 2015 over that summer, apparently the original script was going to feature Deathstroke as an assassin kind of character, like one of the main villains, but there was also going to be the Joker and a bunch of other villains from Batman's Rogues Gallery, similar to like an Arkham Asylum type of the Raid film, which would have been pretty interesting to see. Of course, they kind of doubled down on a lot of things, and ultimately that didn't pan out. And then we recently heard that Chris Terrio, who of course wrote Batman v Superman and Justice League, turned in another rewrite for the solo Batman script. Of course, Chris Terrio is a friend of Ben Affleck, so it makes a lot of sense that this happened. But now we're learning that when the new director comes on board, there's going to be yet another rewrite on the film that's going to completely scrap any ideas that they had previously done or wanted to go ahead with. So, it's pretty interesting, very telling at this point, with Warner Brothers just ordering complete rewrites of their films. Obviously we heard that The Flash is getting a page one rewrite very recently, so who knows what direction that film's going in. And obviously the Batman has had a lot of controversy surrounding it for the past couple of months, I believe ever since January, when Ben Affleck seemed very kind of cautious and nervous about how the film is going to turn out, saying, well, I don't want to do it unless the script is completely great, then I'm going to do it, and if not, he kept saying, if the script is not where I want it and I don't think the script is good, I'm not going to direct the film. So obviously he's not directing it, so where does that leave you guys standing? Very nervous about this movie, but like I said, I'm a massive Batman fan. I always love the character, so hopefully this turns out for the better. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comment section below. What would you actually like to see in the Batman film? A more centered story around Deathstroke, or a villain kind of team up, which is what the original script was going to do? Leave all those thoughts down in the comment section below, and if you guys are new to the channel and you like this video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you guys again for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you guys next time.